is like no place else.
Wait, you can't recycle the bag. You have to throw it away.
Proper recycling keeps it that way for everyone. Bags tangle in machinery and can bring sorting efforts to a halt.
No bags.
Trash the bags and keep our recycling program moving forward.
No, Mom, look. No plastic bags.
Do your part to keep our recycling bag-free. Trash the tanglers or return them to participating retailers. For more information, visit TampaBayRecycles.org.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the County Public Safety Coordinating Council regular committee meeting for January 19th of 2024. Just as a reminder, if you will silence your phones, and also when you're speaking, if you would turn on your microphone, and then as soon as you do finish speaking, turn it off. We've been advised that there has been some feedback in the past couple of meetings, so if we could follow those couple of rules. Ms. Nappy, roll call, please.
Miss Julianne Holt,
Here.
Sheriff Chronister,
Present.
Chief Judge Sabella, Miss Lopez, Miss Obregon, Colonel Bob Ura, Chief Lee Burkaw,
Deputy Chief Kate present for him.
Chief Chris Daniel,
Present.
Mr. Nick Bates, Mr. Robert Parkinson,
Here.
Mr. Van Ayers,
John Van Ayers.
Councilwoman Gwen Henderson,
Present.
Senator Darrell Roussan, Miss Kelly Hammersley,
Present.
Mr. Patrick Barentine,
Present.
Miss Amy Ruiz, Mr. Mark Proctor,
Here.
Miss Cindy Stewart,
Present.
Miss Yvette Lewis,
Present.
Judge Jeff Rich,
Present.
Commissioner Cameron Cepeda,
Present.
and Miss Cindy Grant.
Ellen Snelling's here for Cindy Grant.
We have quorum.
Thank you. In your packet are the minutes of the November 17th, 2023 meeting. If you could please peruse those minutes and at an appropriate time, have a motion made.
Susie Lopez, I move to approve the meeting minutes of November 17th, 2023.
Second, Cindy Stewart.
All right, we have a motion by Ms. Lopez, a second by Ms. Stewart. Are there any additions, corrections, or deletions that need to be made on the minutes before we move to approve them? All right, all in favor of the motion to approve the minutes of November 17, 2023, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, like sign. Thank you. Under old business, if we could just confirm that the subcommittee lists are accurate and correct, and if there's anyone that needs to make any type of correction to those committees' memberships, if you could just let us know now, and if not, this will be the final subcommittee membership list. Anyone have any corrections that need to be made? And also in your packet, excuse me, we do have the Public Safety Coordinating Council Master Calendar for 2024. These are the dates that have been agreed to previously, and there were no communications to Ms. Nappy or to myself indicating that any changes needed to be made. All the meetings will start at 8:30. And all meetings will be held here on the 26th floor. We will continue to have hybrid capabilities for individuals that need those particular accommodations. The last page in the packet is the attendance roster from 2020 to 2023. Obviously, if you look at the attendance sheet, what we have is the legislative delegate has been a position that has been difficult to have someone to actually attend the meetings. with the permission of the council, I will reach out to the chair of our legislative delegation for this year and ask whether or not they would be in a position to designate someone to appear on behalf of the legislative position. Any objection? And then Ms. Nappy reached out, and we will be introducing to you today a new member, which is Ms. Amy Ruiz, who will wave so that everybody knows who she is if you haven't already met her. And she will be attending these particular meetings on behalf of her agency. So Amy, if you don't mind introducing yourself to the council and in what capacity you will be attending, and just tell them, everybody a little bit briefly about you, since some of us have known you forever, but. Your mic needs to be on. Thank you.
My name is Amy Ruiz. I am president of the Tampa Hispanic Bar Association, so I'm attending this council in that capacity. A little bit about me: I am a criminal defense attorney. I've been in private practice now for, 15 years. Before that, I was a state attorney, and before that, I was a public defender. So I've worked with a lot of people here and have quite a bit of experience in the criminal justice field.
Welcome, and thank you for attending the meetings, and we look forward to having you work with us over the next year. Under new business today, Ms. Nappy, we had the election of new officers.
In accordance with the PSCC bylaws, nomination for council chair and vice chair were held at the November 17th, 2023 full council meeting. We must now vote on those nominations. Nominated for chair is Miss Julie Holt. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 All those opposed? Congratulations, Ms. Holt.
Thank you.
Nominated for vice chair is Sheriff Chad Cronister. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Congratulations, Sheriff.
Well, thank you all very much for this honor, and I appreciate this. As you know, this will be my last year, so I'll try to make it a lot of fun for you all over the next year. And after that, Sheriff, you're in charge. Mr. Parkinson, if you would introduce the Axe Mental Health Clubhouse Psychosocial Rehab Program and the presentation that we're about to see.
Yes, Madam Chair. For those members that have been around for a while, you may recall.
Can you please turn on your microphone?
Can you hear me? Okay. For those members that have been around for a while, you may recall in 2016, we conducted a sequential intercept mapping of the behavioral health and criminal justice system. Chief Judge Figueroa housed that specific sequential intercept mapping. During that full-day event, we looked at the intercepts between the mental health and criminal justice system, specifically looking for opportunities to improve the interactions between both systems. One of the areas of unmet need that was assessed was the need for a mental health psychosocial clubhouse model. There's one in Pinellas, and many here are familiar with it, but we did not have one here in Hillsborough County. In the intervening years, a number of us, including the Sheriff's Office, Tampa Police Department, the Public Defender's Office, the State Attorney's Office, have dispatched staff to evaluate the program that exists in Pinellas called Vincent House. They were very impressed with the model, and basically the psychosocial model allows people with behavioral health disorders to engage in meaningful daytime activity, pre-vocational and vocational work, and wraparound services. And the directive was, we need one of those here, so look for an opportunity to bring one. A couple years later, we had an opportunity, a grassroots organization also started advocating for it at that time. We were able to put together a funding stream that involved state funds, a little bit of county funds and nonprofit funds to bring this program to fruition. The Agency for Community Treatment Services, otherwise known as ACTS, agreed to operate and house the program, and I'm happy to report that the program was able to open up in early winter. And we now have Chris Revere, who is the Chief Operational Officer of ACTS, to talk a little bit about the program, the value it would have to the criminal justice and behavioral health system, and how our individual agencies can make referrals. So Chris, if you could take it from here.
Can you hear me? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the council. Thank you, Rob, for that introduction. Certainly, this is something that us as an organization, ACTS, felt that this was a significant need to the community. And with that, I'm not sure if the presentation, there it is. With that, the clubhouse model is an evidence-based model that actually started in New York City. And this model really identified areas where individuals with mental illnesses would have a restorative community where they can actually engage in different activities, as Rob mentioned, that would actually help build relationships towards their recovery. Next slide. There we go. So with the clubhouse, or the ACTS clubhouse, as Rob mentioned earlier, it's a psychosocial clubhouse. This clubhouse is going to engage individuals to acquire skills, build relationships, develop self-confidence, but also look at a better future and, most importantly, gain employment opportunities where we would actually assist them with what's called supportive employment, transitional employment, but most importantly, independent employment. And so we began this process or this journey, as Rob mentioned earlier, in early winter, which was November 6th is the date that we actually started this. Currently, there are 15 clubhouses in the state. ACTS made the 15th. Right now, there's a 16th in the works, which is going to open up in Bradenton, Florida. But with that, between all of the clubhouses, there's a Florida Coalition Committee where we actually meet, we talk about different areas, brainstorm ideas, talk about each other's clubhouses, and look at opportunities to where we can collaborate and really build a true foundation for the state of Florida. But most importantly, we're really thrilled about having this clubhouse here in Hillsborough County. So with that, what does the clubhouse offer? So it's a work order day. This work order day really engages individuals to build on three things: their strengths, their talents, and their abilities. And that's something that we feel strongly that we've been able to do with the members now that we currently have. I think if we're looking at certain outcomes or what benefits that they'll actually receive, we're looking at several things. Is, can we reduce the number of psychiatric admissions? Can we reduce the amount of recidivism rates as far as being involved in the criminal justice system? I would say with law enforcement folks in the room, we've had the behavioral health units come out, support this. Thank you, Sheriff Chronister, for having your behavioral health unit come out and support this initiative for us. And so there's opportunities to where now we can really engage individuals in a way to where now they can be productive citizens. Here's the building that we actually purchased back in 2016. This is roughly about a 10,000 square feet facility. Originally, it was a drop-in center for homeless individuals, but with the assistance of all of our community partners, we were able to actually do a full renovation, which took roughly about 2 years for us to complete, but we're really pleased to have this in motion. So here's our reception area where individuals or the members will actually be able to work on customer service skills, phone reception skills, also do some data entry, but also do tours for new members and also look at orientation processes that new members would acquire different skills in. Next is our conference room. Really, this is where we'll have, of course, meetings and opportunities to really brainstorm different other ideas. Not much there. Here's our open collaboration center. As you can see, I mean, it's fully renovated. This is an opportunity for members to really engage with each other and really build and support one another through their process, through their recovery. It is not a treatment facility whatsoever, so we don't provide treatment services at all, but really look at restoring that individual and really building on their skills and their abilities, as I mentioned earlier. So this is just another picture of the open collaboration area. So again, here's our great room, just to kind of give you more of a full view of the area. This is our business center. Within our business center, individuals will have the opportunity to work on education programs, develop fundraising strategies, but also employment planning, and also engage in training activities. All right. So this is the cafe. So we'll have a cafe where they'll be able to take part in, we're going to actually we're building a kind of a Starbucks type setting, right, where we're going to put a countertop where we'll have a POS system to where now members can actually purchase, donuts or, danishes or coffee or whatever. And so they'll actually run that. And that's part of where they'll actually build those skills. So when we do engage them back into the community and in a true work setting, then now they'll have those applied skills. So we're really thrilled about this cafe. This is the dining area. We also have a computer lab. And in that computer lab, our members will actually do data entry, do newsletters, but also build resumes. Our daily schedules will actually be facilitated. Also, within that, we kind of have a multimedia type component engaged into our software. So now they'll actually be able to really engage in ways where now they'll use Facebook, all the social media platforms to really, bring the information to the community or to folks to where they can actually learn more about the clubhouse. All right. So this is our kitchen. It's pretty state-of-the-art kitchen. And this is where they'll actually be able to actually engage in culinary arts. And so within this kitchen, we'll actually be able to do meal planning, meal preps. We'll also work on safe serve trainings and certificates for our members. In addition to that, we do plan on having a garden to where they'll grow their vegetables, and they'll actually use those vegetables to prep meals and all of those things. And so that is something that we see as a huge benefit to this clubhouse. Laundry facilities. So within this laundry facility, our members will actually be able to bring their clothing. They'll be able to actually come in and wash their clothing. But, a lot of our individuals have been homeless for an extended period of time. They don't know how to operate a washer or a dryer. And so that is something that, will help them build on those skills, but also work on identifying stable housing as well. So here's an outdoor area, a rec area. Well, they'll be able to just go outside and just get some fresh air, and just really, if they want to have meals or do whatever, they'll be able to engage outside as well. With that, I really want to just thank our community partners. It really says a lot to when the providers, our partners are able to really collaborate and really bring something like the clubhouse to life. And we're really, really thrilled with our community partners. And so, our goal is to sustain this. We'll do fundraising, we'll do sponsorships, we'll ensure that we look at other revenue opportunities to sustain our clubhouse here in Hillsborough, Florida. All right.
Any comments or questions?
Questions?
Mr. Bates.
So the hours are Monday through Friday from 8 to 5.
Mr. Parkinson.
Just a couple comments. One of the reasons the sequential intercept mapping keyed in on this as an unmet need in our community was that this group, the PSCC and the County Board of County Commissioners, have done a really excellent job at bringing treatment resources to bear, mental health treatment, substance abuse treatment. But we also need to recognize that when individuals are in treatment, sometimes that means meeting with a psychiatrist once a month or meeting with a case manager once or twice a month. And although that's good in maintaining stability, it's not good in achieving recovery. So we need some recovery-oriented programming, and this is an evidence-based model that's proven to be successful. The other unmet need was we have a number of programs like our misdemeanor intervention program, APAD, mental health court, HCSO's reentry center, that needed access to additional eyes for people that were going through the program so that we can help them remain stable in the community. And although the clubhouse provides that meaningful daytime activity, it's also another set of eyes to make sure the folks that are going through those programs are doing well. And when they're not, they're not a treatment program, but they're able to interact with the people that are providing the treatment and say, hey, Rob hasn't been taking his medications, his ADLs are off, maybe we need to increase his level of service, that sort of thing. So it's that recovery-oriented services that this really provides the added value to. And again, this is not something that happened overnight. A lot of you and your staff have been instrumental. Marie Marino is a good example of that. Your behavioral health unit, Sheriff Chronister, your reentry staff have taken time out of their day many, many times over the years to go to Vincent House and absorb those best practices so that we can replicate them here. And we finally brought it to fruition. So we wish you the best of success, and of course we're going to do everything we can to make you a success. And the only thing I ask is that you continue to interact with criminal justice system members, Sheriff's Office, Tampa Police Department, because we want those individuals that they're encountering that don't need to go to the criminal justice system to be going into the behavioral health system and get the services where they need them.
Absolutely.
Sheriff Chronister.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I firmly believe that mental health is the biggest obstacle that we face. And a lot of the substance abuse that we're seeing now is because they're looking for some type of relief. They're in mental health crisis, and so they turn to that illicit drug. I love the wraparound services that your organization continues to provide. We've made some great progress in this community in terms of treatment services, but a lot of treatment services center around those that are already in mental health crisis, not those that are in treatment and maintaining that health and wellness. I think this is a tremendous resource in maintaining that health and wellness so they're not able to get in crisis. They're under some type of treatment program, whatever that may be, medicated, unmedicated. These resources, these wraparound referrals will help those that are in these services and maintain that health and wellness so they're not turning to mental health crisis or not becoming violent to their family members, to their community, to law enforcement. I don't think we can do enough when it comes in terms of mental health. And Mr. Parkinson, you and the county have done a tremendous job. This is a heavy lift. To be able to have a resource like this in our community is a tremendous, I believe in terms of measuring progress, is a tremendous advancement in maintaining that health and wellness so these individuals aren't in crisis. So congratulations, phenomenal job.
Thank you.
Anyone else have any comments? And certainly, thank you for the presentation, and obviously, you've been a great partner with a lot of us here in the criminal justice system and the juvenile justice system, so thank you very much for all the work that you all have done, and send our best wishes to your CEO, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you, Ms. Hope.
At this point, obviously, what Mr. Parkinson and I had spoken about several months ago was that we thought it was important for members of the council to understand how many resources actually exist here in our community, including, you know, when you start about talking about the Department of Corrections, for instance, and a lot of people don't realize the things that were being done for reentry purposes and the wraparound services that were being provided. And so I thought it was important, and Rob thought it was important, that each of you have a very good understanding of just how much we have brought into this community over the last several years. And we do this all the time. We thank the county all the time, because it is, if it was not for the county taking, you know, a chance in investing in our community with the monies, whether it's tight money or whether there's an abundance of money, depending on what it is, our county has really maintained and been steadfast in this particular area now. And the progress that we have made over the last several years is significant and has put this community in a much better position than other communities. And those of us that travel around the state know that. Those of us that are service providers know that. And so, Commissioner, you're here today, and we, again, thank you and hope you take that message back to the other commissioners, because we're very excited about the fact that we were able to reach this particular goal for this community. And I am going to do something real quick since we're so quick today. I know Ms. Stewart has something that she wants to bring up, but I'm going to let everybody go around in the room real quick, introduce yourself and say what your interest here is, just to make sure that we all know each other. I introduced last meeting, I introduced Judge Rich, but he was in the audience. And so now today you're at the table. So now the responsibilities really get heavy. But we will start with Mr. Proctor, and then we'll just go around.
So I'm Mark Proctor, and I'm here representing the Brandon Chamber of Commerce. So we've had this discussion before, but some people may not remember. We had a coalition of chambers of commerce in Hillsborough County. We had all of at that time, we had 14 chambers of commerce, and we had a group called the Hillsborough Association of Chambers of Commerce. And Steve Ross, Attorney Steve Ross, came to me as chairman of that committee and said they wanted to do a model like they had in Palm Beach County of a coordinating council. So I was involved in helping to formulate the original aspect of this. The idea was that we'd have representatives from the business community as well as the elected officials and the officers of the various aspects. So over the years, we went from having 4 members to only 1 member representing the Chamber of Commerce, and I've just kind of been here for a long time. So some people say, why are you here? Well, mainly just to kind of keep an eye on things and make sure that you all are stay honest.
You're representing the business, Mr. Proctor. Mr. Newman.
Good morning. My name's John Newman. I'm representing Van Ayers, and before that was Addison Davis, and then Jeff Akins. I've been a part of this board when I was with the Tampa Police Department, spent almost 30 years over there, and then recently being part of the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas Commission up in Tallahassee. The school district does a lot and is very interested in what this committee does, because we have 225,000 important kids on our campuses every day. So the work that goes on here impacts so much, and the district's a big part of that. So regardless of what superintendent sits in that seat, the district takes this commission very seriously, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
And just for a little bit of historical knowledge, for instance, when we did have the situations that were arising in schools, Mr. Newman came and made a presentation to this council about what Hillsborough County was doing to keep our children safe. And he had to balance that, obviously, with the fact that they have security measures in place that do not need to be made public, for instance. So it was an interesting presentation, but we always thank you for being a good partner. And as you said, we have a big school district, and so it's very important for us to all work together. And we're one of those statutory groups that have been created, and the school board is one of the members that's identified as being here, the school system. So thank you, John. Ms. Rouge, you've already introduced yourself, so I think we're good to go. Ms. Lewis, I know you need no introduction, but I'm going to go ahead and,
Thank you. Yvette Lewis, President of the NAACP, Hillsborough County branch. So we're the largest branch in the state of Florida. I am here to make sure and ensure that no one's civil rights is being violated and everybody has an opportunity to everything and all the services that y'all do, whether they're good, bad, or ugly. So that's what I do. So same thing with Mark, just making sure y'all staying honest and being fair and equal across the board. You know, we all live in the state of Florida. That's all I'm saying.
just watch Tampa City Council members. I think she's definitely there for every single meeting, and obviously right now they're looking at a potential curfew, and Ms. Lewis has decided to be point on that particular issue.
It's a no.
And the other thing that I guess that she has really done a great job in increasing the membership of the NAACP and has really shown how this community supports the mission and the vision of the NAACP. If you haven't ever been to one of the galas, you need to attend. She does a tremendous job.
Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Deanna Obergon. I'm CEO of Cove Behavioral Health. So we are a large behavioral health provider here in Hillsborough County. We have programs that serve mental health, substance use. We also have our homeless program, which is 87 beds that the county funds. So we obviously are here because we work very closely with the courts, all the problem-solving courts. We have our court liaisons in there to help facilitate the transition of people into our programs, as well as we work with child welfare a lot in terms of getting families into treatment. So obviously my interest here is very much working with all of you to make sure that we're serving our community.
And it's worth to say that when the court system did come to you and say we would like to have some liaisons in the courtroom, although that added additional workload and additional positions that you would need to get, you absolutely met the needs of the courts, and that's really been very helpful. So thank you for doing that. Mr. Bates.
I'm Nick Bates. I'm a representative of the Neighborhood Watch Association in Hillsborough County, and I started back in the early 90s with the Sheriff's Department, which promoted this program and showed the citizens that the Sheriff's Department and the citizens can all work together without any problems, any riots. I've been a member since its inception, and I'm proud to say that we, I believe, are the only county that everybody associated, public and private, work together to ensure that Hillsborough County gets the best out of everything we do. And I think there was 65 counties. We have to be 67. We have to be the best. And I see that every time I come to a meeting. Nobody leaves. There's no arguing. If we have a problem, it's worked out. So I'm proud to be a member of this association.
Thank you, Mr. Bates. Ms. Lopez.
Good morning, I'm Susie Lopez. I'm the Hillsborough County State Attorney. I echo what Mr. Bates said. Ms. Holt and I have traveled all around the state in our capacities, and we are a very unique jurisdiction. The collaboration, we have an incredible sheriff and an incredible chiefs, all of our chiefs of police, and the collaboration is wonderful. We know that each of us can pick up the phone and make a call and get an answer and get a response. And so we're in a very unique jurisdiction, and we're happy to serve.
Chief Sabella.
Thank you very much. I too started the Sheriff's Office in the early 90s. And 18 years ago, I became a circuit judge here in the 13th Judicial Circuit, and recently I was elected as the chief judge of the 13th Judicial Circuit. We're one of the largest circuits in the state, and I supervise 67 judges. We have 40 circuit judges and 28 county judges who preside over all of the civil and criminal legal issues that arise in our county, which encompasses the entire circuit of the 13th Judicial Circuit. And it has just been a tremendous pleasure in the last 6 months that I have been the new chief here to preside with all of the other, who I call justice partners, the sheriff, who's fantastic, the chief of police, the state attorney, and the public defender. We work on a daily basis with very important issues that our society needs to address. And the clerk, Cindy Stewart, across from me, is also a member of the Justice Partners. And I think we call them stakeholders, but I like to refer to us as Justice Partners, not because I think that we're superheroes, but we do have a lot of superheroes that we work with and that work in the community. So it's an absolute pleasure for me to be here.
Sheriff.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you to each and every one of you for choosing to serve on this council. I think this council is extremely important. It's a collaborative effort, private and public, to come in and make decisions on how do we continue to improve the public safety of this community. And there's so many different various aspects that entails. Prevention services, diversion services, rehabilitative services, reentry services, student safety, domestic violence. There's so many services, and this will only get accomplished through a collaborative effort. Where's our priorities? Mr. Parkinson, I can never say enough about your passion and dedication to everything you do for this community, the heavy lift. We come up with a conceptual idea where we think we listen to a program, and we think, hey, can this be beneficial? And we walk away, leaving you with the heavy lift. You know, can this have that impact that we're all looking to have in our community? Sometimes yes, sometimes no, as we maximize our spend on how we take these resources that are the most beneficial, and we have to sift through that, and that's a heavy lift. I couldn't be more grateful, the chair and I, and this entire council, for everything you continue to do for this county. You, the county commission, Commissioner Cepeda, thank you. There's only so much money in the pot. Where are we going to dedicate this money to? And you have to be, sometimes you're under a tremendous scrutiny of where these dollars have to go. Where can we maximize the benefit? Thank you for your passion and your service. Again, every single person in this room, when we meet, we come together with different ideas. We all have different passions, but you bring your passions in here, and this collaborative effort, this powerful council is able to achieve. Crime is down 8% in Hillsborough County. How do we have all these people moving here? More people, historically more crime, and it's not happening. It's not happening here. And it's not because we're arresting more people. It's because of services like this. We're focusing on the real issues. We're not putting a Band-Aid on issues and trying to triage issues. We're getting to the root cause of the problem. Where can we maximize our benefit to continue to make sure Hillsborough County is the safest place to live? Thank you to each and every one of you. Madam Chair.
Judge Rich.
Good morning. As I was introduced, I'm Judge Rich. I'm currently assigned to a county criminal division. As of January 1st, I was asked by Judge Sabella to become the administrative judge for county criminal, which is why I have a seat at this table. I'm looking forward to learning about all the services that are provided throughout the community. Specifically, I preside over the municipal docket, which primarily consists of individuals who are homeless and find themselves in the criminal justice system coming before me with pending criminal charges. And we are always looking for ways to assist them. And just sitting here through the last meeting and here today and learning about some of the services, the wheels are already turning as to ways and things that we could potentially do and services that can be provided. So I'm excited to be here and partake in this committee. So thank you.
Ms. Stewart.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you. I sit today as the clerk of the court, and my office probably interacts with and touches all of your offices, not only as the record keeper, but as the person who holds a lot of the data and provides a lot of that data to you around people who are in the justice system and people who are in our community. And our goal in my office, and we've made it a priority, is to how we meet customers, where we meet them, and making sure that we have accurate and easily accessible data. So that's kind of where our office is. We spend a lot of time with forward-facing, meeting these individuals at not only our domestic violence counters, but at our customer service counters and on the phone. And so our goal is to make sure that we have the ability to offer the services that are out there, and that we're making sure that the community has what they need to get through a lot of the mental health crises. That's why we offer services on Saturdays and Sundays for domestic violence and holidays, making sure that the community knows that we're out there. Thank you.
Mr. Parkinson, now you can't talk about all the years of everything you've been doing, so you have to pick the top 3 things that you're excited about. Well,
first of all, I'd like to ask Sheriff Cronister to do my performance evaluation this year. I'd really appreciate it. In all honesty, my name is Rob Parkinson. I'm over the county's criminal justice office. Technically, I work for County Administrator Bonnie Weiss, who works with the Board of County Commissioners. We have been so successful because of the partnerships we have here. It's not me, it's us. I would have not been able to do any of the things that we did as a group had it not been for the support of this group. That being said, it's been extremely helpful to have a county administrator who understands it and gets it and is so supportive, and a Board of County Commissioners that when you present a business case to them and show them what's really going on, they have been extremely supportive of efforts to improve the criminal justice system. So thank you, Commissioner, for all your support. I have been involved with the criminal justice system professionally for about 26, 27 years now in varying capacities. And, you know, my personal mission is to protect the vulnerable. And we do that here. We do that here. And you know, we don't have to go into details of who they are because it changes. And the important thing is that we're all here to serve a common good and a common purpose. And we do that when we work together. So thank you.
Chief.
Good morning. My name is Deputy Chief Ruth Cade. I'm here on behalf of Chief Lee Burkhall, who sends his regrets that he cannot be here. He has a little thing called Gasparilla that he's working on. I know Sheriff Cronister, you'll be there to support our efforts in Gasparilla. But on behalf of the Tampa Police Department, we're very excited that we have a very robust behavioral health unit, and we have 4 clinicians that are on staff, along with a case manager and a doctor that works full-time at the police department. We're also working on having a psychologist available full-time at the Tampa Police Department, and that has shown great success. I recently had a conversation with Grace Point. Baker Acts at the Tampa Police Department were down 500 this last year. So we're able to chart and see who our high utilizers are, and we don't have that revolving door, and we're getting them the services that they need. And it's always education and diversion is the key. Like the sheriff said, we always want to find an alternative. We don't want people to have to immediately go to jail if we can see that it's a problem with mental illness or substance abuse, that we can get them treatment. So that's a goal of ours, and we've been working very hard on that. So thank you.
Ms. Hammersley.
Kelly Hammersley. I represent the Department of Juvenile Justice. I'm the Chief Probation Officer here in Hillsborough County Circuit 13. I would like to say that I am very, well, I guess the word is, looking for the correct word. I'm very pleased to be a part of this council as we look at youth that may or may not be involved with the Department of Juvenile Justice. Our agency works with families in need of services. We work with our contractor providers. We have a multitude of community partner interactions, meetings. Sharing all this information that is presented today is a wealth of knowledge that we can also share with our families, our providers. I'd like to thank Julia Holt, Safe and Sound. We have the Evening Reporting Center, and that is going, from what I understand, very well. So that's a great added resource that we have. Our focus is to divert youth from entering the juvenile justice system, but youth that are involved in the juvenile justice system, we are working through any court-ordered sanctions engagement into attending school, completing school, post-secondary education. We are also working with vocational opportunities for our youth that we serve. So with that being said, we also have family members, parents, guardians that may or may not have other issues that they need to have resources to, and we can provide that information. So it's really critical when we talk about public safety and youth accountability that we are part of this conversation, and we have great opportunities to have meetings and discussions such as this. So thank you for having me as part of this board.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Pat Barentine. I am the Circuit Administrator for the Department of Corrections here in Hillsborough County, which basically means I'm the Chief of Adult Felony Probation here in Hillsborough County. We supervise approximately 7,500 adult felony offenders here in Hillsborough County, which is one of the largest populations in the state. And I'm very happy to be part of this committee. I know we have very strong relationships here in Circuit 13 with all of the judicial stakeholders and law enforcement partners. And we're excited this weekend. I know Chief Burkaw is out getting ready for Gasparilla. We're going to have 4 of our probation officers that are now certified bike officers out working with Tampa Police Department this weekend for the Children's Parade. So we're excited about that.
Well, and thank you for the program that you've also developed to challenge all of us that are normal, everyday, walk-around people on the difficulties of what it is to be on probation. So I can't wait for the program that you're going to put on at our office next week.
Yes.
I'm going to see if I can make probation.
The reentry simulator is what we've been doing. We've been hosting those and assisting other agencies with hosting those. And it's been a great success. It basically puts you in the perspective of someone returning to the community, either from jail or prison, and go through a very short period of time, but it simulates a 4-week period of your first 4 weeks out of the institution and some of the things you have to go through in order to be successful. And it makes it difficult just to see the difficulties that they face. So thank you for the opportunity to be able to present that for the Public Defender's Office. And if we can do that for anyone else here on the council, please let me know, and we'd be happy to look at that.
Thank you. Chief?
Good morning. I'm Chris Daniel, Chief of Police for the University of South Florida. As you know, the university is basically a city within a city. We have elementary schools, medical facilities, and so forth. Our population on a peak semester is equivalent to or greater than 25% of the counties in Florida. So with that comes a lot of challenges. We hope that the university touches this group, and I feel like I represent more than the police department by being in this group. I serve as a conduit to bring information back to the university on issues that we're working on or discussing in here so that we can get the academic piece involved, and hopefully the university is in turn turning out people that will be professionals and enter the workforce into some of our environments. So that's how I feel like I have benefit by being a member of this group, and I'm really pleased to be a member. I thank you.
Thank you, Chief, and go Bulls. Commissioner.
Thank you. Hillsborough County Commissioner Donna Cameron Cepeda, and I also serve on other boards such as Juvenile Justice and Commission on Human Trafficking, but public safety is definitely a top priority for the people of Hillsborough County, and just really excited to support organizations such as this one, ACTS, that we heard about today. It's just amazing because it really gives people hope and change for their life, to know that their lives can change and get better, and they don't have to keep in the same old, and it's just, I love that, and I'm excited to really support that, so.
Thank you very much, and it's been a pleasure serving with you on the different councils and commissions, so thank you. Ms. Snell.
Well, I've been involved with the Hillsborough County Anti-Drug Alliance as the board chair for about 10 years, but I started back in 2000, and that's how I met you back in the day when you were the chair of the Hillsborough County Anti-Drug Alliance. But our mission is to keep kids off of drugs. That's our primary mission. We want to keep these kids drug-free and keep them on a path of being, good citizens and not committing crimes. And as far as everyone in this group, I feel like I've collaborated largely with the law enforcement, Sheriff Chronister. One of our big projects that we do twice a year is the DEA prescription drug take-back, and all the law enforcement agencies, including USF, we collect medications and keep them out of the wrong hands. And you know how significant the fentanyl crisis is right now. So anything we can do to help prevent substance abuse, including prescription drugs, I think it really is a huge benefit to the community. And one other thing that we do is we really support our DUI enforcement officers, especially Tampa Police Department and Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. And we get out there with MAD and we support them by giving them food and beverages. And there's been a huge impact this year from the enforcement of the DUI laws, in that it appears that the DUI crash fatalities have gone down this year. So for every DUI arrest that's made, there's a life saved, and possibly, we are making a huge difference with the law enforcement officers. But anyway, we can help as far as being supportive, keeping all of our age groups, from children to senior citizens from abusing drugs, we're happy to help. Thank you.
And thank you for your service. Councilwoman Henderson, are you able to join?
Yes, I am. Good morning. Thank you, Chair Holt. I apologize when you called my name earlier. Happy New Year, everyone. I wish I could be there in person. I was hoping to be there in person. Maybe some of you know my mother is ill. She's now under hospice care downstairs, and the nurse was arriving when you called my name earlier. So I am here with her today. My name is Gwen Henderson. Of course, I am a member of Tampa City Council, which is a 7-member body. Like I tell everyone, it takes 4 votes, to make a decision in Tampa proper about something. And our children's safety, as I said, when I took office, I will always be thinking about the children when I make my decisions. And their safety is a #1 priority for me, even if that requires me to take hits from various organizations or, community members. And I'll just say this in regards to that. When I was a kid, when I was a teenager, I know some of you remember Curtis Hickson Hall. There was a party at Curtis Hickson Hall, and of course, my mother did allow us to attend. But it was not uncommon for parents to be out there with their headscarves on and their house dresses, coming to pick up their kids. Because they set the curfew, they set the tone. And as I've told people in the community already, not one parent has written me complaining about a curfew regarding their children. So I know that there are other underlying issues, of course, when it comes to public safety, but I'm going to be thinking about the kids when I make my decisions every single time. And I'm so glad to be a part of this particular committee because we have a voice to do what's in the best interest of our children. And nothing is ever perfect, but we have to give it our best try. A lot of people in this town don't even know what takes place when it comes to the safety of our children, even in Hillsborough County Public Schools. I have the ear of the superintendent. I know firsthand that every year we address Gasparilla. When it comes to public safety, we address prom night because kids can make bad decisions and lose their lives over, being immature and not thinking about their own safety. So that's the standpoint that I always think about as the time that I spent being a teenager and the places that I traveled as a teenager and being where I'm supposed to be and not being where I'm supposed to be. So, I'm putting kids first and their safety, and I will always come from that standpoint. So thank you so much for you all's time today. I really hope to meet you all in person in the future.
We all send our thoughts and prayers to you and to your mom.
Thank you so much.
Okay. And Ms. Stewart.
Madam Chair, so I'm going to give a little bit of an overview. I wasn't going to because I didn't even bring up, I usually bring my little PowerPoint for an update on this, but with all the new members here, I just want to bring you up to speed. Back in late 2021, my office took the lead on looking at the unified data share system that 7 of the judicial partners sitting at this table use. It is a clunky, very old system, and we had access to American Rescue Plan money. So we petitioned the county commission with your support to go after some of those dollars to rebuild this system with the idea that then you would have better access to your data, and that additionally your individual agencies could add on to this system the pretty bells and whistles that you wanted that weren't part of the original system. I'm here today to tell you that this is a $3.5 million project. We have been at it for quite some time. We are in phase 3 of this project. Your agencies know, those of you who have appointed, your agencies are heavily involved now with Presidio is our contract vendor on this. There are 11 people at Presidio working on this project, and we have an October of this year launch date. I am pushing them hard to move up that timetable as much as they can. So I'm very excited to let you know that we are in the final stages, what I would call the final stages of launching this. So thank you to all of you who the resource of your individual offices are probably the most important piece of that, and that is not something that money can buy. I can hire the vendor, I can commit my people, but you committing your staff to this project is really where the rubber's going to meet the road. So I'm really excited and looking forward to coming back at our next meeting and telling you we're even closer to launching this. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I sat in on one of the meetings this week. It was interesting. I didn't understand very much, but but I'm looking forward to that launch. Two final introductions. Our court administrator, Gina Justice, is in the audience for all of you that have not had the pleasure of meeting Gina. She just waved. And then the second individual that's in the back row is Brandy Williams, who is the chief deputy for Ms. Stewart in the clerk's office, and she has an awesome big job. And one day y'all should just sit down and ask her what all she does. Yeah, she doesn't have time for that. So, do we have any public comment at all? Mr. Parkinson, sir?
Just one comment, and I would like to apologize in advance. This is a JAG year, a Justice Assistance Grant year, so it does mean that the PSCC will have to convene its JAG subcommittee. And it sounds like Judge Rich was not aware that was one of his responsibilities, so congratulations. Congratulations.
Learn something new every day.
So probably around March, April, we'll be looking to convene the JAG committee to program the next 3 years of funding on that. So this is advance notice.
There's a lot of other things, Judge Rich, that you'll be being a part of. Judge Sabella tries to make it sound like it's like a really cush job, but exactly. All right, then, if there is no other public comment, Ms. Lewis?
Okay, so thank y'all for all of that introduction, and I just really have to say this. Whatever y'all do, it affects us. And when I say us, all roads always lead back to the NAACP. So with that being said, on April the 13th, we are having a Health Expo Community Olympics. We'll be having some workshops there. So if any of y'all want to do some workshops with the community, and we'll have a lot of people come out, and this is the first time ever. And when I say all roads leads to us, I'm saying I get the complaints, I get the concerns, I get the issues. So my job is also to, how do we bridge this gap between the community and all of y'all, and making sure that everyone is being serviced, and making sure no one's rights is being violated, and no particular finger is constantly being pointed at each and every one of you. So we came up with this idea of like, let's coming together in the community, educating the community. I believe in education, and this is what this is about. So you're gonna be seeing the notices coming out to y'all. Please get in touch with me on what piece you wanna do, be a part of it. If you wanna participate in the Olympics piece of your organizations, your companies, your businesses, please be it, because I would love for the community to interact with y'all on a friendlier basis, because it helps in bridging that gap and understanding that you're not as bad as they say they are, or we can figure out how we all gonna live in this world together cohesively. And so I really want to let y'all to know to just take your time, think about it, and get in touch with us. And this is what the NAACP is for, not just to attack, but we're building bridges. And this has been going on for a long time, and Sheriff Cronister can attest. This is not an easy task, but I need y'all help to build this bridge, to understand, you know, law enforcement, this is what we're here for. So utilize this organization to help be your mouthpiece and the bridge piece. Thank you. Yes, we're gonna be having it at our branch, and so I'll send all this information out to y'all. Thank you.
And is the Olympics is like a sports events and things like that?
Yes, and we're gonna have all the chiefs of law enforcement and sheriff to compete in a competition, so
Okay,
who's gonna
that's,
take the gold?
that's, not,
Yeah.
but not them against us lay people, because
Yeah.
they win every time. We've tried dodgeball with them, we've tried flag football with them, we've tried everything, and they beat us every time. We need to have another level or tier.
So it's fun, and the thing is, because like I say, sitting in the seat, I get it. And when they come and they was like, you don't like us, the judges, everything. Judge Rich, we gonna have some conversations. And so my thing is, how do I fix all this? But I can't do it without y'all. And this stuff doesn't happen overnight, because I didn't start liking that guy until like, what, 3 years later? No. And Julie Holt as well. So, but thank y'all so much, and let's come out and let's just be a part, so they can see y'all, that y'all are really want to help before a crisis hit.
You know, one of the things I think the sheriff and I learned along the way is that sometimes there's a good reason for the phone call, sometimes there's misinformation that brings the phone call, and I've been able to, with my relationship with Ms. Lewis, it's been easy, because then we can go back and say, but here's what was really going on, and here's what really was happening. And, you know, it's like when the judges look at us and say, you mean you haven't visited them in the jail at all? And I said, no, just 5 times, but other than that, no. It's, you know, you have to have the right facts. And so the open communication is what's really built the relationships that we all have. And Ms. Stewart and I actually went to one of the meetings and spoke together with the chief judge, and it was really kind of great, because we were talking about a subject that was of interest to individuals. And we stressed the importance of, for instance, serving on juries and how important that is. So it's a lot of fun to get engaged, but I'm not doing the sports thing, okay? All right, with that being said, we will, Judge Sabella is moving that we adjourn because Judge Rich has a docket.